to the mats for his 4th Toro Cup appearance and representing the Vault Jiu-Jitsu, Mr. Jack Reynolds. And his opponent is a very special guest. He is making his Toro Cup debut, but he is the victor of 20 MMA bouts with 9 wins by submission in promotions all over the world, including UFC, Bellator, and PFL. Please help me welcome to the Toro Cup match for the very first time, representing Burnell MMA and Extreme Couture, Mads Burnell.
Well, that's one heck of a resume.
Yeah, you know, 9 submission victories, and out of those 9, 6 come from the front headlock position, 4 of them by Japanese necktie. So be on the lookout for Mads Burnell on the front headlock. Jack Reynolds, known as a leg lock enthusiast here locally, but no stranger to wrestling, has a good back attack game as well.
Quick pull here.
Yeah, you don't want to go too long on the feet with the MMA guy, right? Like, especially
Heck
a professional MMA fighter like Mads. Mads currently an active competitor in the PFL. Has fought in the UFC between 2018 and 2019, picked up a few submission victories there. So an incredible grappler. I know he spends a lot of time training locally here at Elevate MMA and does a lot of rounds with my friends over there. So it's been one of those things where it just worked out, right match, right weight, right time while he was in town already visiting for training. And here he is on the Toro Cup match. It's so awesome to see athletes of this caliber here.
Well, and like huge shout out for taking the match on such short notice too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's just somebody who's down to scrap.
Oh, well, I mean, Jack actually was already planning, when he had this previous opponent, he was planning on visiting the open mat at Elevate yesterday. He still went, and Mads asked him to roll. So that's a guy who's really down for any time. Mads here on this pinning pass. Jack trying to make something work on that underhook side, but so far it's been stifled.
Looks like he's trying to figure his way out of this little puzzle. That's a good start.
Yeah, I thought maybe we'd see Mads rush for something for that bonus, but it looks like he's going to play this one nice and patient. You know, he only had so much time to prepare.
If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready.
I mean,
or whatever they say.
I don't want to accuse this man of not being ready.
Exactly.
I don't want to say anything cross.
Active competitor.
Either of these guys.
Well, in that Extreme Couture gym too, like, man.
Yeah, one of the most proven mixed martial arts gyms in the entire world. My coach Cody Malte trained there as well when he was in Vegas.
They definitely scrap, that's for sure.
Jack trying to look at that outside lockdown, but Mads having none of it. Wag of the finger to that. You know, and Mads normally uses the other tools from MMA to open up the attacks on the head, as you should when you're a grappler who's doing MMA. And I'm very curious to see exactly how he likes to open up his usual game without the strikes being involved. Although, if you follow this guy or if you watch him closely on social media, it seems like he's competing in something jiu-jitsu-wise every couple of weeks.
And that's the key. You know, you're always fresh, you're always ready. You're not taking a couple of months off to try to figure stuff out. You're just going. Can you do that forever? No.
Yeah.
But while you can, I don't see why not.
And Jack's doing a good job right now of thinning out, of keeping the inside position at least. He's maintaining his frames, but his guard is slowly being chipped away at. It's truly being picked apart.
Mads here, you seem really hugging the hips too.
Yeah, he doesn't want any big bridging. Yeah, any big shrimping or big bridging. This is a great tactic for MMA as well, because when I coach my guys in MMA, I'm talking about that overhook on the body and the fact that you could be punching here, but Mads is using his upper body to kind of pin, using the head-to-head fight and hand fight as well.
Yep.
And this is all the kind of stuff that typically creates openings for back exposure more often than not in MMA. But here in Jiu-Jitsu, a lot of people don't want to give you that by any means. So they're going to try to stay facing you as much as they can. and you see Jack trying to face back in and reintroduce his legs to the equation.
Well, and you can see how hard he is trying to use those frames, and that just is a testament to the pressure.
Exactly, right. When a guy like Jack, who's as advanced as Jack is, has really solid frames, and I know that he's got an incredible guard, and it's just being kind of ignored by the guy on top, I'm like, ugh, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel what that feels like. And because Mads has been in this game long enough to know that those frames don't last forever. They're made out of flesh and bone and acid and calcium and all the other stuff, and they will just fade away if he just keeps putting weight and pressure on, keeps making them work. Nobody can bench press for hours.
And we're just about halfway into the match. Points are about to come up. It's been a very patient game from Mads here on top.
Yeah, extremely. He's not shown a ton of urgency to get over into the mount, but over time today, we've seen when people rush that mount, they get kipped immediately, especially no gi, right? So he is making an effort to cook, but he's also been trying to get some kind of back exposure or head and arm, and Jack's just not giving him anything. He's been keeping the T-Rex arms going all night so far. And now he's 2-on-1. Now, he goes back to the crossface. I thought maybe we were going to see a little switch up in arm isolation there. Now Jack's really trying to frame hard. He's really trying to keep himself from being pinned.
Well, if you see, Mads has his knee under the inside hip as well, which really prevents how much extension you can get from that bridge.
So he's got him boxed up between the overhook on the body, scooping and pulling him back constantly, and the knee on the other hip, keeping him from coming in any closer. So you're really kind of stuck in the middle here, and your frames are not going to help you too much. We see Jack trying to invert and gets his open guard back up, and he has changed the position for the first time in this 6-minute sequence, basically. A very meaningful change here for Burnell. He is now going to be forced to pass again as we have Reynolds looking at that far arm. And so often in knee shield, it comes down to this arm that's on the mat. Like, what is happening with that arm on the mat? Is it being controlled by the top guy? He's probably winning. Is it being used by the bottom guy? He's probably looking to set something up with it.
He's looking to set this pass up again. It worked for him earlier in the match.
Yeah, I don't think threading the hands together, I just don't see the strength being enough to lift Mads off of you if you are to get your hands together there. And Mads with a big step over pass, pussing out a little bit of the athleticism there.
Well-timed turtle.
Yeah, but it's
already,
he's got, and there's that front headlock into a look at this necktie. And look at him hooking the back leg and advanced. He's skipping steps.
The awareness is just incredible.
He's going straight to step 3.
He's like, I ain't got to do all this.
Yeah. Bundles him up. This is how Islam likes to set him up too, but Jack pops his head right out and he comes up with nice double unders in the butterfly. I can't believe Mads got out of there. Maybe Jack just couldn't believe he actually got those double unders and thought he was living in a dream or something.
It was almost that moment of hesitation, like, oh no.
Wait, did I just get double unders and come up under in the perfect position to butterfly guard this guy? Trying to push that knee away and pass with the big back step is Mads. We got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, and as Jack comes up into the turtle again, you've got to expect that he's waiting for that front headlock, which is why he was controlling that wrist the whole time. Jack's putting a lot of emphasis on tracking that wrist. Big belly down. Things typically don't get better from there. They typically get worse. Jack very aware of that, trying to get his alignment. Oh, nice job misaligning the spines for Reynolds. He'll avoid the rear naked choke, but he'll end up in the arm triangle here.
With points on the board as well.
Mads Burnell looks like he has a neck made out of Teflon and steel. I doubt you're going to be able to push that down with your arm.
Jack doing a great job here defending, but we are within the final 2 minutes.
And he's pushing him to the wrong side, so the threat got less and less over time. We've got Mads up on the scorecard. He's double-checking with Drew to make sure they put the right amount of points on the board.
Up 7-0 right now.
Yeah.
Jack's still trying to use that inside frame. It's heavy on the hip there. Mads honestly just seems unfazed.
Yeah.
Very patient.
Yeah, he's just like another day at the office for him, you know. Especially when
Literally.
you have like you're a professional fighter in the PFL and you don't have a fight booked, they could call it any moment. So you don't want to like just go all out and try to just Thanos this guy and get it over quick. You got to kind of play it like it's a regular roll. There's that far side control. That could have been very deadly if that was a little bit deeper on the grip, or maybe we were a little less sweaty. But Jack Reynolds recognizing the danger again. 45 seconds here as the clock winds down with Mads Burnell up 10 on Jack Reynolds.
I mean, if you're Jack, you're throwing Hail Marys at this point, but Mads really isn't offering the opportunity.
I feel like his Hail Marys all came earlier in the match. He had a lot of looks that I thought wouldn't have gotten rid of that pressure. Now he's trying to invert up under the feet again. He's going to regard and stand. He wants to wrestle a little bit now.
He's fired up for these last 10 seconds.
Mads controlling the head. He's going to cruise to the finish line against Jack Reynolds here at Toro Cup.
What a match.